Let's go across to our guest joining us today. We are now being joined by John Ereth, Senior Policy Director for the Center for Arms Control and Non-Proliferation in Washington. Sir, thanks very much for speaking to us.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Sir, I want to begin by asking you, how do you see this latest move by Russia formalizing the deployment of Moscow's tactical nuclear weapons on the Belarusian territory? Does this raise the risk of a nuclear war?
The most important thing to keep in mind is that this move makes no difference at all militarily. Previous to this, Russia had the capability to use a nuclear weapon against any part of Ukraine it chose. It had the capability to threaten to use nuclear weapons against the neighboring NATO countries. Simply moving some of the non-strategic weapons to Belarus does not change that calculation in any way. So what this move is it's highly symbolic. It is a way for Russia to underline that it has a substantial number of nuclear weapons and that it is prepared to use them in order to bring pressure on NATO states to stop their support to Ukraine.
Right, so on that note, the US government believes that Russia has about 2,000 tactical nuclear weapons, which includes bombs that can be carried by aircraft, warheads for short-range missiles, artillery rounds, of course. So how do you assess the impact of this move on the war in Ukraine, and also how do you assess the impact of or the role of the international community here?
As far as the impact on the war goes, it's not very much. These weapons are not particularly useful in a war of the type that is being fought in Ukraine because the modern conventional weapons give you the capability to attack whatever you want anyway. And particularly in a situation where Russia is trying to occupy portions of Ukrainian territory, you don't want to destroy everything in these areas you're attempting to occupy and leave a large amount of residual radiation as a nuclear weapon would. So militarily, the impact is very small. But it's a case of Russia trying to use this for diplomatic leverage to heighten the stakes for the Western countries in their continued support to Ukraine.
All right. Well, Mr. Ereth, thank you so much for joining us on this broadcast with your insights on this.
Thank you.